Hello CRJ400. This is Professor Kelly Hamilton, and I'm coming to you in a spooky little way because I can't quite figure out my lighting. As you can see, I do have the PowerPoint here for you, but for some reason I can't get the ambient lighting to show up and illuminate my face better. So I'll be talking a little bit off screen and a little bit on screen. But we're here to continue our exploration of street law in CRJ400. And as we do, I want you to know that I've uploaded some PowerPoints for you this week, and I've divided them into 4 different parts. The reason I've put it in 4 different parts is because I've included some audio with those particular PowerPoints in an effort to give you some additional information to correspond or supplement the reading that you will be doing. You'll hear later about my mechanic Mike and what is written there on his arm. It says, "We the people." But I want you to follow along with these PowerPoints. As you do, there'll be certain links within the PowerPoints, and as you can see here, there are some audio links. What I want you to do is to simply activate the audio icon, and then you'll be able to hear some sound. The voice will be that of mine. And then eventually you will work your way all the way through the end of the material. When you see a PowerPoint slide that includes a website address, all you have to do is plug that website address into your web browser. And for this one here, as it relates to the Dinkytown riots, an event that took place in Minneapolis a little over 13 months ago, you'll see that it takes you to a video. Activate the video. And it'll take it a few moments. It was up just a moment ago, but you'll have to sort through the commercial. And then once you sort through the commercial, you will actually be given the video that is instructive for our purpose. Give it just another moment here. I had it loaded properly a few moments ago, but it reset. So you'll work your way through the commercial, and then it'll actually bring you to the instructive part. You'll see that this particular video is approximately 3.5 to 4 minutes. You'll go ahead and watch the entire video, and then after you do, return to the PowerPoint. When you return to the PowerPoint, continue on through the information. As you continue on through the information, eventually you'll get to the end, and then there will be, in some of the PowerPoints, a few questions. When you get to this particular slide in part 1 of the PowerPoint, I want you to recognize that there is a dividing line between the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment. As it permits under the First Amendment, you're allowed to take certain actions under the First Amendment. However, those certain actions could run violative of requirements related to the Fourth Amendment. Now, as most of you know, if anybody's had me in a seated class, you know that I require individuals to at least be familiar with the Fourth Amendment. And anytime I teach law enforcement officers, I teach them that the Fourth Amendment requires that officers be reasonable in any given situation. You will see that the reasonableness requirement under the Fourth Amendment actually permits arrest to take place for what people otherwise thought was lawful, permissible Fourth Amendment activity. After you finish with the first of the 4 parts, then you will go to the next part of the PowerPoint slide, and this one in particular happens to deal with religion. And as you'll see, you'll be able to scroll through. It's actually a fairly short PowerPoint slide, but then when we get to the end, you will see that there are some articles that I have provided for your review. Understand the First Amendment religion clause. You'll actually come to appreciate that there's 2 parts. There's the Establishment Clause, and then there's the Free Exercise Clause. We're not going to concentrate on the Establishment Clause because that deals with a different type of activity. We will focus upon the Exercise Clause, and then ultimately, the final article that you will read for the religion section is Overview of Religious Liberty in Public Life, and it deals specifically with what is permitted. Then you'll go on to the third PowerPoint. The third PowerPoint, when we get back to it here, actually has approximately 30 slides. You'll see we start back out with my mechanic Mike, and then you'll have the opportunity to go all the way through the PowerPoint. We're going to be focusing upon this particular section related to conduct. What conduct is permissible? Now, we're not going to address all activities that are permissible or impermissible. We're going to focus upon these three here: funerals, fighting words, and flag burning. When you get to this particular website, with this particular slide, it will direct you to a website. Again, simply pick the website, put it into your web browser, and then it will take you to the right place. And what you'll be seeing here is an example of protests that take place, but these protests go beyond merely the right to assemble. These protests also involve specific language. I want you to look at the case involving Pastor Fred Phelps, and as you do, ask yourself, what do we think should be permissible? You'll continue on past that, and you'll begin looking at flag burning cases. Now, when we get to the flag burning cases involving Mr. Greg Johnson here, Texas versus Johnson, you're going to appreciate what exactly is permissible. This is actually Mr. Johnson on the day he was arrested. When I traveled to Dallas in 2013, I was able to get some pictures of exactly where this took place and exactly the steps that it took place upon. You'll look at the materials related to Mr. Johnson. I've got some audio there for you. Again, you'll have some different videos for you to consider. And then you'll see some other current event news briefs that I have listed here for you. Simply put those into your browser and then go ahead and play them.
An Islamic protester in Pakistan has died after reportedly inhaling the smoke from burning American flags. A large number of protesters who showed up.
Pretty simple, not hard to do. And then eventually you'll get to the last one. The last one has to deal with peaceable assembly. Again, make certain that you listen to the comments that I have about one of your fellow students, Zach McElroy, and his arm there that contains a "We the People" in color. And we're going to look at something that just took place this past weekend. 9 dead in biker gang gunfight at Texas restaurant. If we scroll down through the article, which I encourage you to do on all of the articles, you'll see that eventually the law enforcement said that he tried to keep the gathering, the law enforcement organization tried to keep the gathering from happening, but that the restaurant management refused to cooperate. 5 biker gangs came together, with approximately 150 to 200 bikers. Question becomes, did they have the lawful right to assemble? And then we're going to ask ourselves, did they peaceably assemble? Well, based just upon the headline, you'll see that it says 9 dead in biker gunfight. Question becomes, did the restaurant also enjoy First Amendment protected activity as it relates to gathering together and peaceable assembly? Well, this isn't the best video I've ever made. In fact, it may actually be one of the worst I've ever made. I'll try to get the lighting issues worked out fine for the other videos when I did them in this location, but I'm going to have to figure out why this is showing up so dark. Until then, make certain that you complete the assignments on time. If you have any questions, as some of you have, you've picked up the phone and you've called me. Some of you have texted me, and of course some of you have emailed me. Feel free to continue doing that, and I look forward to engaging and exploring street law with you.